Hey guys, it's Al, aka No Good. Welcome to the channel, and today we're going to be talking about what every drummer should bring along with them to every gig: an emergency kit. What is an emergency kit? Why bring it to every gig? Well, I'll tell you. Because things go wrong, and you want to be prepared for them. I've had this kit for several years, and it's gone with me to every gig, every bar, every winery, every recording session. It's got all the things I need to make sure I'm going to be successful at the gig, and if anything goes wrong, I'm prepared to take care of it. So let's dive into what's in this little box. First off, the box itself. It says it's called the Really Useful box. I got a bunch of these when I lived in California for just like little knickknacks around the shop. And I turned this one into my emergency kit. It's hard-sided, so I still have to kind of think about where I'm going to pack it in the car. But at least it's really sturdy. It's got ribbed sides and these reinforced corners, and it's not going to break even if I drop something heavy on it. And I think this costs like maybe $6. Some of the most obvious stuff that you can have in your emergency kit is tape, okay? Right here I've got a roll of regular old silver duct tape and some masking tape. Obviously the duct tape's good for just about every sort of repair. You can use this to repair stands when things strip out. You can use it for memory locks. You can use it to tape things together that break on the fly. You can use it to repair a broken bass drum head if you really have to. You can use it to tape things down in windy conditions. You can use it for muffling on drums and cymbals. There's any number of things you can use it for. If you don't have duct tape at the gig, you're asking for trouble. Masking tape is kind of like the tape I use when I don't want to use duct tape because it peels off a little bit easily. You can get little portions of it. It's good like if I'm using muffling rings on the toms or something and it's windy. This is really handy to stick it down without adding a lot of mass to the drum. It's also really good for things like taping together set lists and stuff like that. Obviously, you need some simple tools. Here I've got a Phillips head screwdriver, and I got a pair of expandable pliers, okay? It's not hard to imagine why you need these things. A lot of things operate on screwdrivers. Make sure you have the type of screwdriver you need. I actually had one of these that switched around and became a flathead screwdriver. And of course, pliers are really good because stand nuts get stuck and you want to loosen them up. You don't want to tighten with pliers though, because you are going to strip stuff out and then your stands are not going to last as long. But if it's stuck, you can maybe grab it with pliers. I also keep one of those Leatherman Gerber type multi-tools stuffed in a pocket of my stick bag, and that's got screwdrivers and knife blades and pliers and all the other things. It's even got a bottle opener in case you need some of that. Also, in terms of tools, how about an expandable wrench, a monkey wrench? There's all sorts of things that get adjusted with these, and not just at the gig. You know, you might have to help a guitar player out with something, but like there's a lot of little nuts and bolts around a drum kit, and this helps. Also in a pinch, you can use this to untighten a wing nut on a stand or whatever as well. Yet another tool that I find is really useful. This is like a set of Allen wrenches. Again, you know what tools you need to adjust the things you own, but this has all the Allen wrench sizes I need to adjust pedals, bits of stand, anything that takes an Allen wrench on my kit. This little expandable Allen wrench set will take care of. Drum key. Obviously, you should have a couple of these stashed away somewhere on your kit, but this is just an extra drum key. I don't think you can ever have too many of these things lying around. Makes sense to throw one in the emergency kit. This is something that I can't believe anybody doesn't pack with them in a survival kit. It's a headlamp, okay? I don't know about you, but I have had to set up and tear down so many times on ill-lit stages. And the house lights just won't come up. And I need to reach down there and adjust pedals. I need to find something that I've dropped, like a wing nut or a cymbal felt. And I need to pack it all out and make sure I'm not missing anything. These things are cheap. You can get a really good one for under $10. I think this one was $10. And as an added bonus, it has a little strobe mode. So if you're playing a rave gig, you can strap this on your head and look really cool. Extra bass drum beaters. I mean, it's not often that these things fail, but when they fail catastrophically. Usually it's the head pops off or something like that, and it's almost impossible to fix. Throw some tape on the head because you probably tore it when the shaft broke through it. Grab another beater and keep going. Okay, I have two because I have two beaters on my double bass drum pedal. Mic clip. Believe it or not, how often, do you show up at a gig and you need one of these? Great to have. I've got a few pens and pencils stuck in here because you never seem to have one when you need one. I also have a Sharpie because those are great for set lists and for signing fans' heads and hands and things. You might as well just have one of those in there. You never know. Better to have and not need than need and not have. Another thing that's really particular to me, because I use in-ears, and I'm going to be talking about in-ears in another video, but I use in-ears with Comply foam tips. So it makes sense that I'd have extra Comply foam tips in my kit, because those things always seem to scoot off your ears, your in-ears, when you most need them. So I keep an extra few of these just in case one breaks or becomes scuzzy or just falls off and gets lost in the corner, like all small things seem to do at a gig. I keep a set of drum dots in here. This is a brand new set. The set I used to carry in here got really scuzzy and I couldn't clean them up anymore, so they're out of here, and I just picked up a brand new set of drum dots. Love these things. I also have an extra bass drum patch, just in case. Better to have and not need, right? Now we're getting into the nuts and bolts of things that when things break you want to have, okay? I have some snare strap in there for your snares. And if your snares don't take plastic straps, make sure you have like some sort of twine or something in there that you can use with those strainers. Here's a little baggie of cymbal felts. I don't know about you, but half the times I show up to any gig that's got a house kit, these are missing off of all the stands. Makes sense to have a few of these. Plus, when you're taking apart your cymbal tilters to put your cymbals on, seems like one of these things will always fly off like a comet and head for the darkest part of the room where you'll never find it again. So I'm probably better have some of these extra. Another thing that I love having in here is I've made like a little cymbal felt with a cymbal rattler. It's in the same bag, and so if I need a sizzle, there it always is. Here is another baggie, and it is full of other cymbal stand parts such as cup washers. I've got a couple of combo cup washer sleeves, these little nylon jobbies. Got a bunch of wing nuts of various sizes and shapes. Some are metal, and I've even got a couple of nylon toppers in here. I cut this off of a Tama style one, just so that it wouldn't take forever to screw on. And also a few wing bolts of various sizes and thread types, okay, because these things strip out all the time, and if you've got a fresh one, maybe you can jam it in there and get through another gig. Use some extra duct tape along with that. And of course, in here is also a couple of extra cymbal sleeves, because you never know, you never want cymbals to touch metal. I even have a little baggie of tension rods of various lengths, just because sometimes one will drop out of the bottom of a floor tom or a snare or whatever, because you've been banging on it all night, it backs out. So always bring a few of these extra, because they can be a lifesaver. You'll probably get through the gig if you've got like one lug with one of these missing, but why bother? You know, at your next break, fix it, because you got the stuff here. Better to have and not need, right? Always have an extra hi-hat clutch in your breakdown kit. Always have an extra hi-hat clutch. I can't say this enough. Always have an extra hi-hat clutch, because if you forget one thing, it's probably going to be your hi-hat clutch. I always keep a few band-aids in here. I'm constantly cutting my hands and my fingers on things. Band-aids, why not? They're very thin. They fit right in the edges there. I love having this kit with me because it gives me peace of mind that I'm covered for just about every type of circumstance that could come up at a gig. If anything breaks, if I seem to be missing anything, if I show up with a house kit and the cymbal stands are a mess and missing everything off the tilters, I'm covered. Literally, I can repair a drum head. I can fix almost anything on my kit. I can even take care of myself with some band-aids, and I can get back in the game and make the gig successful. But what do you have in your emergency kit? Did you think of something that I missed in mine? Drop a comment below and let me know. Also, don't forget to like, subscribe, and enable your notifications so that you know when more No Good Drummer content is coming your way. I'm Al. This is the No Good Drummer. Thanks so much for watching and have an awesome day.